Okay. Now, I have all of the files named and put together. I'm going to show you what I've been working on. This is the, it's wiggly. This is the nightstand. This would be what I would call nightstand as is, with the only slight change being I would kind of like to put a different kind of top. This is kind of a placeholder. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. This is kind of a placeholder image, kind of what I'm thinking about. And this would be not colorful or anything like that. It would be like wood inlay or like shell or something like natural like that. And I'm just using it as a placeholder because I kind of wanted something that looked a little deco. So this is going to change around. It's just there to remind me, basically. So this is pretty much how it would be right out of the box, with the only slight change being this being a cubby instead of a little cabinet. So there's going to be a drawer and then a cubby, and that's easy because there's, you know, the bottom piece goes here, this bottom part of the shelf, and then the top, and then I just got to put those things in. So that's a pretty easy one. That is version 3. This is version 2, in which you can see I pulled out all of that, added a back piece. I was looking at, strangely enough, I was looking at some of the Imagine d'Epinal prints of furniture, and I think that's where I came up with this, because it needs some sort of medallion, some sort of keystone element. And I kind of like how that looks. I'm still not incredibly happy with the feet. I still may change those. I know it's an optical illusion, but let's see if we can get in here. Probably not a little here. It's probably an optical illusion, but it looks as though this pinches in, and then it's emphasized by these feet. So I'm probably going to change the feet. I spent hours on them the other day, and I just couldn't get to anything that I liked. So there were some that looked very much like crayons. Others looked like circumcised penises. I did not like those at all. So I just kind of said, okay, I'm at a good stopping point here. Part of the reason I want to keep these lines in here, you can see these lines. It's like, oh, just remove the lines and change this out, make them straight. I may end up making them straight because I don't like this diagonal. The reason I want to keep the line is because this continues the same kind of decoration in the rest of the pieces. And it also is a handy place to know where to put the shelf, the little shelf that gets cut out and kind of floats there and gets glued in. So that's one of the reasons why I kept that. But that's where it is right now. Okay, that was nightstand version number 2. And then here is nightstand version number 3, which also has the cubby in it, but then is much more like, okay, I can't move around. I can't quite see what I'm doing. This is the reason why it would be really a lot better if I learned how to do this the right way. But this is much more like the children's bedroom furniture, where there's a little backsplash element, and then a top for this. It's folded in half. And you might be asking, why do you have to fold it in half? Because it just makes it just a teensy bit stronger. So that's the 3 versions of the nightstand, because that's just who I am. Pardon. The armoire also got a different version. You can tell here that I've made a smaller version, which I think might turn, this is the second version, this might turn into a third one, because I kind of want to explore. When I was doing the research on the pieces of furniture, armoires and wardrobes from like the 20s and the 30s, there would sometimes be a shelf here, and then like further back, so it was like a little divot, a little chunk out of this, and then a little mirror hanging back here. So there's part of me that would kind of like to explore that, and I was kind of goofing around with it in my head. So I don't know, I'm not sure. But I still need the only parts that I got done were these, and I made some notations and then pulled out, the pieces that wouldn't be there anymore. Instead of having 6 drawers, 6 of the small drawers, you're only gonna need 3, and then only 2 or 1 middle drawer, that kind of stuff. So that was a pretty easy one. I've still got to go back and do some. Oh wait a minute, where did the bed go? Do I have the bed in here? Oh wait, I don't even have the bed open. Okay. Go back here. Come on. Sometimes this Inkscape program gets a little buggy, and it's doing it right now. And I'm trying to get to like where I need to go, which is the double bed, and it should just pull it open. I didn't open up the regular bed. I fixed the bed this morning. It's all straightened up. Let's see, armoire bed. And that's it. This is a pretty cakewalk piece. It's, if it will show it to me. Let's get rid of that. It's a pretty easy piece. You can see it's got the front and the back piece, the bed. If I can move this over. And again, I left that part uneven. I've added some portions, some pattern pieces for the sides that will help hold things up a little bit more. So whether you want to use foam core or cardboard. Plus, I was putting this together and thinking, well, why am I not making extra pieces for this? Well, because for these 2 pieces, I generally just, before I cut them out, I glue them to another piece of heavyweight paper. So that's why that is that way. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that one. Now, we're to the double bed. And the double bed, I still need to go in here and make some changes with the pillows. I started adding some other things. I need to kind of move some things around. I don't want these to be matchy-matchy. I've gone in here and straightened this out, i.e. made it more uneven. I still have some work to do on it, though. There's always more work to do. And then there's something about curves, that there are times where I will just struggle putting curves together, and it will just be like my brain is not braining correctly. So I kind of have to just put it down and do something else. So what I've been doing is, because I wanted to add a 3rd curve in here. This is the outside, the inside, and I wanted to add another curve, which would add some depth and a little bit more, when I'm working with the wood, the patterns, the different wood grains and patterns, gives me a little bit something I can work with there to kind of push and pull things apart. And the curves are just not working for me today, so I'm just leaving them go. And started working on something again. There's an element in here that is, I like this, dividing this up into having 3 sections in the art. These are the outside of each of these. And I just did the lazy way of doing it, which is, let me grab one of these. When I say lazy, I'm going to pull it over here, and you can see I've got things that are covering up. There's a lot underneath that you don't see, because basically I just took the 2 pieces for the footboard and put them right together, linked them, because I didn't want to draw these feet again. There's a part of me that's like, oh, Christ on a bicycle. I do not want to draw that again. I am so tired of drawing that. I don't want to do it again. So I did it the easy way, knowing that these are going to be pulled in through GIMP, and I'm going to be getting rid of all the white anyway, because I want to put wood texture and wood grain in there. So I know it's lazy, But that's what I did. And I just stopped here because, again, the curves are getting to me. So I have some other stuff to work on. I'm going to go work on that. Because it's going on 6:30 right now, and that's probably why. But I've got the, this is an insanely easy piece to put together. Although I'm kind of thinking that I might want to put, if going in here, there's part of me that wants to put a third little support here. Maybe not. I think I'm just fretting around too much. So I'm going to go look online for some additional okay, Katie, use your words. I'm going to go online to look for some additional Art Deco furniture that's wood and with natural, like with metals and, like I said, shell and wood and all kinds of inlay in it. I'm going to look for that and see what I can come up with, because this is reading to 70s to me. I like this 4 thing here, and I like this pattern in that these are 3 separate panels. I like that. I don't think I like what's in there, and I just need to figure out something else. Plus, I made another aha moment. And this has been, let me see if I can find it. The dressing table that I absolutely adore. Let's just go here. That is also by the same artist. Okay, bedroom furniture. Okay, that's an Andor Haunty. Maybe it's not in here. That it is. Nah, it's not on here. I pulled it off. The dressing table, the one with the big circular mirror. Okay, yes, honey, I know. I'm not doing nice things. The large circular mirror, I am going to rework so it goes in with this group, which I'm very happy about, because I really want to do this little, it's this shape I really like. Not necessarily the consecutive, it's the half shell kind of thing. I'm kind of thinking like the flat side of a scallop shell. That's what I think I want to use for something like this, that there's more radiating lines, etc. But I love to do this a little half chair for a dressing table, boudoir kind of table. So that'll be a from scratch design, whereas these are largely, modified from other people's work, if that makes sense. Anywho, yeah, that's what I'm working on, and I managed to ramble on for 13 minutes, and I really didn't want to do that. It is 40 degrees Celsius here, and it's one of those days where it's like, it's only supposed to be 36, but feels like it's 40 to 41. Ugh, oh God, I don't know how other people are handling it. So I've been taking it easy and drinking lots of water. So thank you, patrons, for sticking with me. Sorry for the bouncy table. I'm going to see if I can make this a little bit more solid. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.